Morning, guys. I give this a second before I start talking. I'm down at the courthouse. State wasn't ready for my last two charges down here at the Bear County Courthouse. Um, know a lot of people don't have faith in public defenders, and it's kind of a crapshoot sometimes. But I got a good one, and he understands what's going on. He really does, and he's gone way out of his way. I mean, he's doing his job. That's what he gets paid to do. But he's gone out of his way to understand why what's happening is happening. And that helps him defend me better. And you can't ask for more than that. You really can't. So, filed a couple of motions. The state's not ready for my case. It's going to be rescheduled to the 27th of February now, which didn't surprise me. I knew the state wouldn't be ready, which is insane. They've had all this time. They can't prove their case, so they say they're not ready. They say they're still looking for evidence. How are they looking for evidence if they didn't have evidence at the time of the arrest? What are they going to find now? It doesn't matter to me. I mean, I understand they want to do whatever they can to make sure that they're doing their job as a prosecutor, so they need more time, and they've been given more time. Um, this is part of the process, guys. It's frustrating as a person who has to deal with the courts, and it's not really timely, but they're entitled to, their extenuations. Just like when the defense needs, an extenuation for some reason, we're entitled to file one, and that's what the state's done. So now we're going to be pushed back another, basically, 7 weeks till the end of February. I did have an anxiety attack in court today. Uh, I get really self-conscious when I have them, and that generally just makes it worse. So I missed out on hearing a lot of other little things that I do pay attention to when I am in court. But I believe when I spoke with my attorney before my anxiety got too bad, I believe that when we spoke, we're both still very confident that the state will lose this, and we'll see what happens. I mean, I like to pay attention to other little things and see what's going on around the court when I'm in there. Uh, Sometimes you overhear little things. A couple of lawyers were in there laughing about one of the prosecutors upstairs, saying they made him look like an ass. Um, and then the guy, one of the defense attorneys, was like, "Yeah, you went out in the hallway and was complaining that we made him look like an ass." And I commented, I'm like, "You can't make him look like an ass. Only he can make himself look like an ass." And of course they laughed, and I kind of chuckled. But you got to be respectful in court. We kept it low. It was before there were proceedings. I'm glad to hear that this judge did get reelected. It's Carlos Key. You know, I believe that he's a very fair judge. I don't get into politics as far as judges go. I go off of what I see in their courts. And so I believe that I have a fair judge. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, yeah, he could have said no extenuation for you, and said you either go today or we drop it. But again, he's a fair judge. He understands the prosecution needs time sometimes, so that's what he gave them. And nothing against that. If we needed the time, we would expect the same courtesy. So again, I'm outside of the courthouse now. I'll be going right across the street here in a second to finish filing my complaint against uh, Investigator Dominguez for his inappropriate actions and comments about things he said the other day. He thinks it's funny that he can make slights to the citizen and imply that they're pedophiles or child molesters, and that that's okay. Well, it's not okay. To me, those were fighting words. I said something really unkind to him when he implied I wasn't allowed to be around children or schools, and I said, no, I'm not allowed to be around your daughter. And he didn't like that much, but I also didn't like the fact that he would even imply that. And I told him, I said, where the hell do you even come up with this bullshit? And again, what it is he's trying to antagonize me to get me to do or say something so that he can put hands on me or arrest me. And that is totally unprofessional and called for. Um, just another thing dirty cops do. And trust me, as soon as he did that, I knew he was dirty. No, not right now, boss. So, give me just a second, guys. Hold on, sir. I've got one. I'm just doing a live stream, so don't walk in front of the camera. Or no, it's all good. I do have one. I just here you go, brother. It is in my pocket. Yeah. So, I mean, sorry about that, guys. Just someone asked for light. And when you get out of court, sometimes if you have nicotine addictions, you need that cigarette. I understand that. Again, but so at this point, I'll be walking over to internal affairs for Bexar County Sheriff's Department. I'll be doing what I do there. Again, good news is, no conviction today. Bad news is the state wasn't ready. So again, we play I sit here and still have bonds that they can always increase at any time, and put out more warrants because they increase the amount of the bonds. Situation. I don't believe that judge will do that again in my case now that he understands what's going on and that I'm an activist. But he may. It's again his right to do that. It's part of doing what we do. Yeah. See, I drool on myself when I have anxiety attacks. It's embarrassing, but that's what that is. Sorry, guys. I'm still trying to get mentally focused before I go down here and deal with the tyrants. I'm sorry, not tyrants, but deal with complaining about a tyrant. Appreciate everyone who stopped in. I'm going to go ahead and close out my live feed. Again, my case has been rescheduled for the 27th of February, so we'll be back down here. Thank you, Freedom. That's really, like I said, why I sat down here, but I generally like to let my viewers know, those that know when I have court sometimes ask me, let them know as soon as I get out. So that's what I'm doing here. Again, nothing huge or exciting, just the fact that the state wasn't prepared. Again, every time I go, I hear this from the state, and it's frustrating, but because for me, I'm like, you don't have a case, of course you're not prepared. It's like, what do they think? They're going to magically come up with something else? So we'll see. We'll keep rolling with what it is. Appreciate my viewers. I do. Last night I went out to Converse. It's out there pretty late. Also part of my problem, I should have got more sleep than I did. Converse finally put up that fence that I told them they were going to end up putting up. And Daniel, thanks for stopping in. I can't believe I hadn't made you a moderator before. Truth be told, was originally from Converse area when he started his activism, or at least I believe he was. That's where I started noticing him. That guy went over to Louisiana, and we bitch and complain down here. I mean, but really, those Louisiana guys, they're pretty bad down there. I see AJOT's in here as well. How you doing? American Justice Texas, thanks for stopping in. If you're coming in, guys, I'm just letting you know my court cases got rescheduled again. I was saying I went out to Converse last night. They did get their fence put up that I told them they were going to get, told them I was going to force them to build that fence. It's strange to me how for 17 years the police whined and cried and violated people's rights and said, oh, we don't have a fence, so, we'll just arrest anyone who comes on the property. And when they tried it with me, I'm like, that ain't going to happen. And you are going to get a fence, or you're going to get sued the next time you detain someone for walking here. They did put up the sign I told them they needed. They put up the fence. Things like that take time, guys. But if you're really about activism, it's about stopping the problem. And the problem was, police didn't care about the law. They just wanted a fence to secure their property. Well, they need to learn the law. They were taught the law. At least 3 of the officers were. Another 3 were taught the next day when I went to file my complaint. But again, guys, we can't change bad officers into good officers. Good officers, if they don't know, we can educate them. But bad officers are going to continue to be bad officers. Lieutenant Martinez, I'll tell you straight out, he was a dirty pig. He knew I didn't break the law, and he didn't care. And he said, we've done this before. We'll do it again. And so when I say he's a dirty pig, I have no problems. He chose not to interview with me. None of the officers chose to do that after all that was resolved. My complaints about their behavior were founded. They all had correctional action, and we all know what that means, or most of us know what that means. Corrective action can be something as simple as saying, hey, don't get caught. But it could also be a pretty firm butt chewing, whatever. But in the state of Texas, you will never see disciplinary action unless it involves a suspension. That's just what the law is, and we deal with it. So I firmly believe the lieutenant needed to be suspended for at least a day so that it was on his record that what he did was inappropriate. As a lieutenant, there's no way he can say he didn't know the law. He didn't understand that if it's physically impossible to see a sign, you can't arrest someone for criminal trespass. But yet, he justified it, told them to detain me unlawfully, and threatened arrest. Either way, like I said, when I told them, after they let me out, I spoke with the officers there. Not the lieutenant, he left, but I spoke with those officers for about 35 minutes. Many of you were in my live stream after that when I was ranting down at the Walmart, and then I filed the 3903 complaint against Lieutenant Martinez. But for that 30 minutes, I sat there and I was educating them, and those 2 officers listened, and they were, like, oh, well, what about this? And I'm like, no, loitering ain't gonna happen. What was I doing when I had purpose. I was walking. It's just little things like that that happen. You can educate officers. You can help officers that want to be helped. If you guys watch Desert Goat, see all the cops around there, they like Desert Goat because he's always polite and friendly. He's not confrontational with them. But as I told the officer who approached me last night when I was filming about the fence, I said, I'm not like Desert Goat. I'm not going to be nasty to you or whatever, but I'm very firm about what my beliefs are. If you're a jerk to me and you violate my rights, I'm going to tell you to F off. That's just who I am. I'm not like Goat. So, last night they were off there. As a matter of fact, one of the officers did Goat's intro. And that's one of the things we want to see out there. We want to see police officers interacting with auditors because it shows that those officers are no longer afraid of the camera. Some people can say, oh, he's a bootlicker or whatever, but that's not the case. He's out there documenting things. And, being friendly or polite isn't a bad thing. It's just like when you have to tell them something that they don't want to hear, then that's what you need to do. You need to blast the ones that need to be blasted. And, of course, no one likes being corrected, myself included. I make mistakes. Everyone out here makes mistakes. So either way, guys, this is going about 15 minutes. I've calmed down now. I'm about to go file my complaint against Investigator Dominguez with the Bexar County Sheriff's Office. I already emailed it to him. I just need to go over there and sign it and do the other perjury statement, and then we're good. So you guys be safe. Black National Freedom Fighter, when you get down here to Texas, I know you're coming to San Antonio, look us up. Almost four of the people in the room here are from the area. We got a pretty strong community. Um, Pretty strong community down here. I don't have to like everyone who does what I do. I just support you either way. I may not agree with your methods, but that's me. I mean, truth be told, I love the guy's work. I disagree with a couple of his methods, but his methods work for him. I'm not gonna, get into what I specifically disagree with. Um, but that's just one of those, things that we're all entitled to that. But again, we got to back each other up and keep each other out there. Um, because honestly, if you believe in this cause, you will end up in front of one of these courthouses. Hopefully, you won't be in jail for very long, but that's a process that you're going to take, especially down here in Texas or Louisiana. Our southern states are a lot worse than the northern as far as auditors go. And part of that problem is that the courts down here don't award settlements like they do up north. See, up north, it's profitable for people to make change because when people violate their rights, they get paid for it, so they can continue doing it. They can continue getting lawyers and pay for lawyers to do things. Down here, you get arrested, and by the time you get out of jail and everything else, you're already out a couple of $1,000s. And civil rights lawyers aren't taking your case based off of civil rights. They're only taking it if there's serious bodily injury. So again, I mean, these are things that, depending on where you're at, you got to do things your way and learn and deal with it. Um, hey guys, I'm ranting. I'm going on. I see lots of people in my chat. Um, so I see Ajot saying she's going to be moving up to New Braunfels. Good luck there. I used to live up there. Never had a problem with the police up there, but then again, back when I was living in New Braunfels, I was a dispatcher. So uh, that's what I did back in those days. So I know a couple of the local guys with the New Braunfels Police Department. Know a couple of guys from the county, but I mean, it's just what it is. Um, Luke, thanks for stopping in. Again, I'm rambling at this point. I'm just reading the scripts. So I'm gonna go ahead and close this out and go do my thing inside internal affairs. So you guys have a great day. Be safe, whatever you do. Posted a couple funny, well, not necessarily funny, but sarcastic things. Um, Blasted Via's board meeting that they chose not to put up my speaking on the web. That's their form of censorship. So I held on to that for a while, waiting to see if they would correct it. They had no obligation to post what I said because it was in a quote unquote public meeting that shouldn't have even been a public meeting. They had no agenda for it. But hey, if they hold them, I take advantage of it. Um, on that particular Advanced Transportation Department, their rules for public speaking, it does have to be on the agenda for that. And again, they didn't have any agenda, so I'm just amazed they even allowed me to come up and speak. But like I said, just like their Christmas party wasn't really an open public meeting, but they listed it that way, so I got into it. And to hell with Corporal Contreras threatening to arrest me for going to a public meeting. I don't care if he didn't like the fact that he didn't think it was a public meeting. They advertised it, and I'm going to go. That's just, one of the things. Well, if we want to make change, we have to get to the leaders at the top and let them know what's really happening. They may not listen to us. I mean, if you look at what I posted, um, 2/3 of the board members are all looking like, hey, shut this guy up, and not listening. Two of them listen. Well, you know what? If I get two of them to listen, and maybe the third one, there's a lady who's visually impaired. I can't read her facial language very well, but so maybe she was paying attention too. But again, I can't read her facial expressions well. But these are the types of things, like I said, if we don't go and speak, then whose fault is that? And it's funny, in the actual board meeting that is recorded public record, a lady chastised those same board members for doing what they did during my time. They're all sitting there playing on their phones. And I say Tinder or Grindr or whatever they're doing. It doesn't matter. You know, they could be using their phone to take notes. They shouldn't. I think out of respect, they should handwrite any notes that they're going to take. I mean, they can always play back the video regarding things that they need to pull off of it. But anyway, guys, I'm ranting and raving. I was watching the comments. I don't see any questions. Anyone have any questions for me? Oh, yeah, AJ. Yeah, that's for the feds, too. I was laughing the other day. I told someone about the Fusion Center, and one of the park police officers was trying to record us secretly or whatever, and I noticed, and I'm like, I smile for the Fusion Center. Here, make sure you get a close-up on it. And when I went over and I was talking to him, I was like, make sure you send this one to the Fusion Center, too. They like this side profile shot for some reason. They got like 20 of these pictures. And he just smiled. I'm like, hey, cops are going to do what cops do. But yeah, fuck the feds, fuck the Fusion Centers. They're going to do what they do, and we're going to do what we do. So peace out. I still don't see any questions, and that is my clue to get off this live stream. Blue Lives Matter. Yeah, exactly. They take our picture and they dox us or say whatever. They try to intimidate you is what they try to do. And you're right about that, truth be told. That to me is pathetic. It's like I laugh when they do a cam back. I'm like, dude, I'm all for it. Keep filming me, buddy. Send it to whoever you want to send it to. Just don't do it on your personal phone, because I will request it. Okay, guys, peace out. Anyone else makes a comment, I'm going to keep, me, I'm going to ramble and ramble. So I'm going to close this out and let you guys get on with more important things. Appreciate you stopping in again. Thank you.